Warren, a big weekend of racing coming up. Firstly, yesterday we had Moonee Valley Track Gallops. What took your eye there?
Well, obviously Sepoy Edward. I mean, he's an awesome galloper. It's his first test outside of his own age group and taking on a lot of the horses that are coming out of the McEwen Stakes and more joyous. He's going to be up against it, or he's going to be tested, but at weight for age he carries 52, and his work was outstanding at the Valley yesterday. Looked like he was working well within himself. If anything, Kieran McAvoy was restraining him. He was on the outside of bull bars and came home his last 400 in 23.2, and as a rule, if you break 24 and particularly 23 and a half at the Valley, then you're going to be very hard to beat in any race you go into. And as I said, he's taking on the toughest opposition he's taken on, but gee, I think he's going to be the horse to beat. He really impressed me. Thought Rekindled Interest had what we'd term a maintenance gallop. He was had a series sit out there leading into the Dato Tan Chin Nam, where he was successful there, and Jim Collins says he's a pretty athletic sort of horse, so he probably doesn't take a lot of work, and that run might have topped him off and got him to where he needed to be. So he's just had to keep him ticking over, and he had one of those types of gallops. He looks terrific. He's not sure where he's going to run Rekindled Interest. He could run either here at Flemington on Sunday or at Moonee Valley on Friday night, but he looked to have held his conditions since the Dato Tan Chin Nam, and obviously he'll run well as he has his final lead up towards the Cox Plate. But I thought Glass Harmonium was a really good worker at the Valley too. They put pacifiers on him. He's been going a little bit hard in his couple of races here since a stint in Queensland, and Kieran McAvoy rode him at the Valley yesterday, and he worked really strongly, and he appeared to relax the middle stages of his work and then quicken when he was asked to quicken, rather than being in a hurry to get it all over with. So with the gear change, and we may see a better performance from Glass Harmonium. And his runs haven't been bad. He's just probably hasn't helped himself a little bit in just being a little bit keen, working within himself. So tinkering with his gear and seeing if a little bit fitter and a bit of the edge off him further into the prep with the pacifiers on, he certainly could run an improved race, Glass Harmonium, at the weekend too.
And here this morning we had Playing God, Precedence and Shamrocker galloping. What was the best in your opinion?
Well, look, you'd have to be taken with the way Shamrocker worked. I mean, she's been totally checked out. Danny O'Brien's stable have had her vetted since her last run, which was obviously out of character and disappointing. But on her work this morning, she's in great order. Playing God also worked really well. They certainly were the quickest of the three gallopers, and there wasn't much between them. But the Bart Cummings stable really run records of track work too, and with a heavy track work rider in Joe Agresta on, and just Precedence is ticking over beautifully. And I couldn't fault any of the three gallops we saw on the course proper this morning. And although track work sometimes can be a good guide, you don't get paid for track work, so Precedence would have done exactly what the Cummings stable wanted him to do, and their record in the races that he's aiming at is fantastic. So I just took from this morning that all of the horses are in really good order for their respective assignments over the weekend, and probably on track. Then they might branch different ways. Playing God might head towards a Cox Plate, and Shamrocker and Precedence that head towards the Caulfield Cup. And look, to me, they look to be going really well. We just have to be forgiving of Shamrocker's performance last start, and let's hope she produces her best and shows she's back on track at Flemington on Sunday.